Is that good to hear everything he said?
You surely can. That was good. Did you brother and sister? You probably do. I can sit here and do this. Joel, what about if I do this?
Well, it also it's also on right now.
You gotta be careful. I went last year and they made me come down front. So be real careful. As long as you look good. That's
You must have done that with my daughter. I
reckon I can keep the camera open.
I tell you what, I should give you 12,000.
Yeah, see, we grew up in the upper states.
Keep your eye on him.
Yeah, you better watch it. Listen, if you get anything chocolate, I can promise you, you better set it to your left. He will get it. He steals my chocolate at lunch all the time.
Maybe
I keep telling my husband he's going over there tomorrow night.
Hey, we looked at the video. You were where?
State Farm on the deal that they have to pay. And I keep telling my husband he's going. He just smiles.
I know one thing, I believe it when I see it. It's a long way from his house. For him.
And this is the only one of our four that's got this on.
I bet he goes.
I think he goes.
I bet he goes. But it's still a long way from his house.
Actually, I thought of this one.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like usually he's not a morning person.
I'm still outside sowing grass. I woke up at 6:30. I said, holy cow.
Do a little chilling and sewing.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I could. Bought 4 tomato plants at 5:30. I told David he got the extra himself. Or he sit out in the bush. Plant. And a dozen. He's got 3 tomatoes. Seed that was planted and grew about like that.
You're proud of me. I am the first gardener I've ever had.
They gave me.
that make a lot of sense?
It does.
Oh, yeah.
I got about 50 acres and a few places.
We planted 100 pounds of potatoes and 30 bunches of onions.
What's a lug and a flat?
I know what a flat is. How much
Yeah.
got a lot of Bermuda grass in there. Make a salad out of it.
That is a lot of road. Seven or even. Maybe it's
in the fall last year's. Freshmen had to have a 4.0. Sophomores are 3.8, juniors are 3.6, seniors are 3.5.
You took all of them and made that. You're going to buy some seniors and masters.
The reason why we did ours, and I think it made sense, Tom, is because we inaugurated it. And that gave everybody interest when we started out was to be in it all year to get their next year. If you do that in the fall, the spring, that way to do, they don't have a chance. You know, and it's kind of tough to remember that all the way from this year to here.
That was my
Welcome to the 1994 Jamaica Me Crazy FHA banquet. Last year at this time, the people you see sitting at this table were installed to become the 1994 officers. We pledged to do the best job we could for our organization. I believe everyone did more than their part, and we had a very successful year. Tonight we will install our new 1995 officers, and after you get a look at who they are, you will be able to predict what will be said at next year's banquet. They will say it was so fun and successful. I appreciate all the faculty, parents, members, and guests who came to take part in a special event. Please enjoy our program. Now a response from my mom, Janet Gossett.
Good evening. I've been dreading this since last year, sitting out there with all of you knowing that I was going to have to do this year. It's with much pride and pleasure that I welcome you to the 1994 banquet. The theme of this year's banquet is Jamaica Me Crazy. And this wasn't a theme that I could really base a speech on, but I bet Mrs. Frisbee could give us a few pointers on that with all these girls for all this time. Also, I would like to say that I'm not a speech maker or a speech presenter, so just bear with me, please. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Mrs. Frisbee, the faculty, and the community for always being there for our kids. That's one good thing about MECO, and I appreciate that. It will soon be 11 years ago that Larry and I moved to MECO from Yukon, and it just seemed like everyone made us feel right at home, and we were amazed at how friendly everyone was here. And it's hard to believe now that I have a senior graduating this year. I know that the lady that I work with in Yukon, she has a senior that's graduating this year, and that closeness and that friendship that our seniors seem to share is I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be there like it is with our kids. And I guess that is one advantage to a small school. They do get close as they go through. Mandy was in the 2nd grade when we moved here, so she's pretty much gone to school with these girls for a long time. Being a homemaker and a mother has brought me more happiness than I could have imagined when I was these girls' ages. And I know that these girls will be faced with more choices than probably their mothers or their grandmothers. Some of them will work full-time jobs. Some of them will have to still juggle the responsibilities of keeping house, raising children, and all the duties that go with homemaking. Some of them will choose to be full-time homemakers. And each of these are rewarding. And knowing most of these girls, there's not a doubt in my mind that they'll do a wonderful job. And I would just like to say that no matter what road any of you girls choose, just please remember that because it rains when we wish it wouldn't, because men do what they often shouldn't, because crops fail and plans go wrong, some of us grumble the whole day long. But somehow, in spite of the care and doubt, it seems at last that things always work out. Because we lose what we hope to gain, because we suffer a little pain, because we must work when we'd like to play, some of us whimper along life's way. But somehow as day will follow night, most of our troubles work out all right. Because we cannot forever smile, because we must trudge in the dust a while, because we think that the way is long, some complain that life's all wrong. But yet we live and our sky grows bright, and everything always works out all right. So bend to your trouble and meet your care, for the clouds must break and the sky grow fair. Let the rain come down as it must, and it will, but keep on working and hoping still. For in spite of the grumblers who stand about, somehow it seems things always work out. Thank you for coming tonight.
Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come here tonight and fellowship with each other. Thank you for the food that has been prepared for us, and help us to have a safe journey home.
Okay, I think it's dinner time. We are the future homemakers of America. Our goal is to help youth assume their roles in society through home economics education in areas of personal growth, family life, vocational preparation, and community involvement. Officers. Our activities focus on individual growth, preparation for family life, development of occupational skills, and career participation of the youth in today's society. Members, as we work toward the accomplishment of our goals, we learn cooperation, take responsibility, develop leadership, and give service. The 10th meeting of the Minko chapter of the Future Homemakers of America is now in session. You may be seated.
I'll sit this way.
Now, our thoughts for the day. Dream. If there were ever a time to dare, to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it is now. Not for any grand cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that's your aspiration, something that's your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days here count. Have fun, dig deep, stretch, dream big. Know, though, that things worth doing seldom come easy. There will be good days and there will be bad days. There will be times when you want to turn around and pack it up and call it quits. Those times tell you that you are pushing yourself, that you are not afraid to learn by trying. persist. Because with an idea, determination, and the right tools, you can do great things. Let your instincts, your intellect, and your heart guide you. Trust. Believe in the incredible power of the human mind, of doing something that makes a difference, of working hard, of laughing and hoping, of lazy afternoons, of lasting friends, of all the things that will cross your path this year. The start of something new brings the hope of something great. Anything is possible. There is only one you, and you will pass this way only once. Do it right.
Oh, I wish I was in the land of autumn. Old times, they are not forgotten. Look away, Dixieland. Oh, I wish I was in Dixie, way away, 'cause Dixieland, I'll take my stand to live and die in Dixie. 'Cause Dixieland, that's where I was born. Early love on frosty morning. Look away, Dixieland. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your daddy's bound to die, but all my trials, Lord, will soon be over. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is Lord Jesus. His truth is Lord Jesus.
Administration, board members, parents, our 7th and 8th grade servers, and our speaker tonight, Ginger Phipps. Thanks.
our guest speaker, Ginger Fitz. She is originally from Dixon High School and she is now attending school at USAO as a communication and political science major. She is a former FHA Hero National Secretary and is now serving for the APT Motivational Conferences as a conductor.
Thank you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for having me here tonight and having a great time with this Jamaican Me Crazy party. And before I get started, I want to tell you a little joke. This has nothing to do with what I'm about to say for the rest of the evening, but I heard the other day it's really cute. There was this guy and he was taking his girlfriend out on a date. And they wanted to see this movie so bad. So they went to the movie theater and they walk inside and the place is packed. There's no seats. And they're looking and looking and looking. And finally they see one. So he drags his girlfriend down there. But they get to the seats, and there's a guy laying down in three of them, and he's going, ah. And he said, excuse me, sir, but you're going to have to get up so my girlfriend and I can sit down. And the guy said, oh, and he was just waving his hands around and making these godforsaken noises. He said, sir, you're going to have to move. My girlfriend and I want to sit down. It made him so mad. So he went to the manager, he dragged the manager down there, and he said, look at this guy. And the manager said, sir, what are you doing? And he's just shaking his head. He said, sir, you're going to have to get up. These people paid for 2 seats. You paid for 1. Get your 1 seat and let these people have theirs. He said, sir, who are you? Where are you from? The balcony. Yeah, wasn't that a good joke? Those of you who did not get it. I want to welcome each of you to flight number 426, Destination Success. Along this flight, you should find many things that accommodate you. If you don't, tough luck. We will be cruising at an altitude of 94,000 feet and at a speed of 900 miles an hour, so don't open the door without asking first. Due to a budget cut, you will have to provide your own seat belts. Just cross your arms. Let everybody do this. Cross your arms. Grab onto your neighbor. Everybody has to do this so you're going to fall out of the plane. Okay, these are your seat belts. Let's see some turbulence. Take her out. Up and down. Take her out. Okay, those are pretty good seat belts. Some of you are going to fall out for sure, though. In case of an emergency water landing, just wrap your arms tightly around your neighbor and hope for the best. If low pressure should occur, an oxygen mask bag, apparently filled with nothing, will fall from the ceiling. Place it around your nose. Do not breathe normally. Breathe as fast as you can and suck in all that oxygen that you possibly can. And if you're here with a small child, tend to yourself first. Hopefully they'll catch on later. Exits are placed back there, and there, so if you can get out, go ahead and do. But don't get up from your seat unless you ask one of those first. And for your reading enjoyment, we have several popular magazines, but we don't know where they are, so just try to read your palm or something. And we want to welcome you once again to Destination Success and hope that you have a very enjoyable flight. And that's what the setting is right now. Forget about all this Jamaican Me stuff and pretend you're on an airplane. We're flying real high. Nobody knows where we're going, but we're going to success. That's what we're going to aim for. That's what we're going to try to get. What I want you to do now is to forget all the stuff that happened to you today. All of that bad stuff. The part where your hair wasn't fixed this morning. The part where your boyfriend dumped you. The part where you flunked the test. Just forget about it. And remember the story about the Holy Beach. There was a farmer. He was taking a walk in his field, and he noticed this lone, motherless baby eagle. He took the eagle home with him, and he decided that he was going to raise it. And he put it in the pen with the chickens. Well, eventually, this baby eagle grew into a beautiful bald eagle. But there was only one problem. It walked like a chicken. It talked like a chicken. It ate like a chicken. It thought it was a chicken. The farmer thought this was very amusing. Well, one day, he received a visit from a naturalist, and he was showing him around the house. And when they got to the pen of the chickens, the naturalist was astonished to find an eagle in that native environment. So he questioned the farmer about it. Well, the farmer shared the story of how he found the baby eagle and how he put him in the field of chickens and how he thought he was a chicken. The naturalist was not amused, and he wanted to prove that this eagle was beyond the mind of a chicken. He sent that eagle out in his arm and he said, "You are an eagle. Now spread your wings and fly away." And that beautiful bald eagle just sat there, just like any chicken would. So he tried it again and he said, "You are an eagle. Now spread your wings and fly away." And once again, that beautiful bald eagle just sat there. Well, the naturalist was determined to have this eagle fly away. So he took the farmer and the bird out to an open field with nothing surrounding him. He took that eagle out in his arm and he said, "You are an eagle. Now spread your wings and fly away." And that beautiful bald eagle then expanded his broad wings and he soared the open sky. The farmer was amazed. "How'd you get that bird to do that?" And the naturalist said, "I took him out of his native surroundings, showed him a place where no limitations, no obstacles are there, and I challenged him to use his full potential to reach what he wanted to do." And the bird did it. And that's what we're doing with you right now. We're taking you out of that native surrounding, put you in a place where nothing bad is around here, and I'm challenging you to fly high and to reach your destination success. Having a hard time reading that there. When I was in FHA, I started back 6 years ago, and I was a little Peabody freshman, didn't know anything, and my 2 FHA advisors took me out of class, and they said, "Ginger, we want you to do story dance." So I did. And later I ran for sub-district office, then I ran for state office, and then I ran for national office, and I got it. Then I graduated, and I thought, great, there's nothing else left. But they called me back, and they said, "Ginger, we want you to do speeches for us." So I did. And throughout the 6 years, I have learned so much. And I'm still going up there towards my success because I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm still flying high. And one thing I did when I started out, I set a goal. Goals are so very important because if you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. Goals are that little flick of a light switch that you flick on. And when you do that, the light just shines all over the room and you can see your goal. So keep going, you pick it up, and you do something with it. That's what a goal is. And the magic starts when you get that goal. Goals are so very important to our life, and they're also important to basketball. How many of you play basketball? Okay, how many of you watch basketball? I like it, but I can't play it with a flip. But anyway, there was this team down in Texas that was just incredible. They were the best team in the entire state. And people would drive miles and miles and miles to go see this team play. And they were so good that they made it to state championship. And so they get down there, and as the crowd is cheering them on, "Yeah, we know you can do it," the coach takes them aside and he puts them in the locker room. He said, "Boys, I just want you to know something. You guys are incredible. I think of you as my own son. I love you so much. You've worked so hard for what you want. And look, we're at the state championship. Now go out there, do what you know to do, and I know that we're going to win this game." So they all put their hands in the middle, and they ran out to the court. And they got out there, fixing to play their best basketball, and there's no goals. No goal on either side of the court. And they said, "Coach, there's no goals." "That's okay. I know you can do it. Come on. Coach, there's no goal on this basketball court." "That's okay. I know you can do it anyway. You've got to go out there and try." "But Coach, how are we going to keep score?" "Well, I don't know. We'll figure that out later." "Coach, no. How are we going to win?" Coach had no answer for him. Well, let's turn this back into the game of life, because if you don't have a goal, how are you going to keep score? If you don't have a goal, how are you going to know if you win or if you lose? You've got to have a goal that you can look at, that you can vision in your head, something that you see every single day. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. And you think about it. And you go, and you try to get that goal. And eventually you will. And even if you don't, hey, that's okay, because you've got other goals. And after you learn and you try, you'll gain so much wisdom and knowledge that you can apply it to something else. But you've got to have a goal. And whenever you think, "Hey, man, I don't have a goal," just think about basketball. They've got to have one. And life is much more important than a stupid basketball game. Well, as you're trying for this goal, I didn't mean to fit any basketball players there. As you're trying for this goal, sometimes you can have little obstacles that happen. And obstacles are those stupid little things that get in your way towards success. If I was walking straight ahead, this whole thing would be my obstacle. So I'd have to go around it and find another way to keep on going. And think about sports. Anybody here play track? Not play track, but do track? That's okay, because neither do I. But think about a hurdler. Okay, they're running, and they see that hurdle in front of them. All they want is that finish line down there. And they're running. All of a sudden, there's a hurdle in front of them. They can either jump it with grace and with beauty and go way over it and land and go to the next one. Sometimes, as they jump over it, their toe will just barely nick it. And it'll hurt a little bit. They keep on going. They don't let it stop them. And sometimes, they'll hit it. And what happens? They fall down. But have you ever in your life seen a hurdler run and just sit there after he falls down? No. Even though they're disgusted, even though they feel that they're going to be in last place, they get up and they take off running and they jump the next one. That finish line is their goal. That hurdle is their obstacle. And it doesn't matter how you overcome it, just as long as you do. And just as long as you reach that obstacle. Now some of us think there shouldn't be any obstacles at all. Wouldn't life just be so much easier if we didn't have those negative words, or those bad days, or those real life obstacles? Actually, it wouldn't. Because there was a highway down in Texas that connected San Antonio and Houston. And you know how they do the annual death rate on the highways, how they check to see how many people died on the highways? Well, this highway had an extremely high number of deaths. So the researchers went down there and they said, you know, we're going to make this better. We're going to figure out how we can get this highway to not have so many deaths. And they figured that their only solution was to straighten it out. So they spent millions and millions and millions of dollars. You know how stupid those Texans are. And they went through there and straightened out that highway. There were no curves, no hills, no bumps, nothing. And they said, oh, we've got the straightest highway in the world. We're so proud of ourselves. Well, the next year they did an annual death rate again. You know what? It was higher. Almost twice as high. And they couldn't figure it out. So stupid Texans are. And they thought, oh, it's because that horrible storm we had. That's why so many people died. And so they waited another year. And they went back, and the death rate was even higher. So they sent more researchers and scientists out there to figure out why all these drivers were dying. You know why? They were bored. They had nothing to do but drive straight. And that was it. They had no curves, no bumps, no turbulence, no hills, nothing. They were bored. They fell asleep because they had no obstacles. So the researchers and the scientists went back to the State Department and said, we made a mistake, we've got to get those hills and those curves back in there. And they did, and the death rate went down. You've got to have obstacles. Without obstacles, you're going to be so bored, not going to know what to do. Without obstacles, you're not going to appreciate the stuff that you get once you finally reach them. And while you're doing this, while you're figuring out your goal and your obstacle, while you're figuring it all out, you've got to remember, hey, I've got to be me. Because if you try to be somebody else you're not, if you try to reach somebody else's goal, if you try to overcome somebody else's obstacles, it's not going to work. Never, ever will you truly succeed if you're not yourself. And through FHA, I learned that. Through FFA, I learned that. Through Student Senate, I learned that. Through God, I learned that. Through my church, through every organization I got involved in, I learned that. So if you're not actively involved in this chapter, and you're actively involved in somebody else's chapter, great! Because you can learn to be yourself in it. We're going to play a short little game right quick. Kind of get you up and moving around. In my hand, I hold an imaginary remote control. You want to see it? Beautiful little remote control with so many buttons. People wonder how I can use this. But it's pretty amazing because it's got control over each and every one of you. And when I put my hand up, each of you stand up. And when I put my hand down, you sit down. When I move it to the right, you all go to the right. And when I move it to the left, you all go left. It's that powerful. Okay? So I'm turning you on, and I want you to stand up. Okay. No, sit back down. No, okay, sit back down again. Okay, move right just a little bit. Okay, move this way. Stand straight up and down. Sit down. Stand back up again. Okay, move this way. Stop. Move this way just a little bit more. Are you back in your seat yet? Okay, move a little bit back to your seat. Sit down. Then look up again. Oh, okay, sit back down. Gotcha. Okay. Now, how many of you truly enjoyed that game? Nobody did. You know why? Because it was stupid. It had no point. You stood up, you sat back down, you moved, you sat up. Even though that was truly stupid, if you think, get rid of that stupid remote control. I just did, okay, it's turned away. But you know what's sad? Some people have a remote control over us. And this remote control tells you what to wear, tells you how to wear your hair, tells you what to do on the weekends, tells you who you should like and who you shouldn't like. It's got something over us. And some people call this a peer pressure, but we're not going to call it that, because when you call it that, you think, peer pressure, get away. It's not that. It's called not being yourself, because you're letting somebody else have control on you. I challenge each of you to get rid of whatever remote control that is, and to be yourself. Because each of you are so important. Just like the thought of the day said, you are the only person, I think that's what it said, that you are the only one, and you're so important. And you know, God made millions of people scattered across the land and the sea. And of all of his past creations and all of his creations yet to be, never has he made, nor never will he make, another you. Surely, he who made you different from all of the others on the shelf meant that you should have the courage to just be yourself and to get rid of that remote control. And when you do, you can achieve any goal that you have your mind set to. You can reach any destination that you think is worthy. And you can overcome any obstacle that's in your way. Anyone. And as I close, I want to share with you one little poem that my mom told me. Ginger, you've got to go up there and share this poem. She just loves it. So I'm going to share it with you right quick. When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you a king for the day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or your mother or your wife whose judgment upon you must pass, but the fellow whose verdict counts the most in your life is the man sitting back in class. Some people may think you're a straight shooting chum, they'll call you a wonderful gal or a guy, but the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. He's a fellow, please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end, and you pass your most difficult, dangerous test if the man in the glass is your friend. Now you may fool all the world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but you pass your most dangerous, difficult test if the man in the glass is your joke. Get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartaches and tears if you cheated the man in the glass. Don't cheat yourself, because if you do, you'll cheat yourself out of so many wonderful things that are out there. And all the people in the world, you are the most important. And like I said earlier, when you do yourself, you can overcome anything. And that's my challenge to you, my biggest challenge, is to be you. And I thank you so much for all of your participation, for staying up and playing my little stupid game, and for laughing at my little joke, and for your attention. And I'm going to close with this little thing. And if you don't remember anything out of what I said tonight, I hope that you remember this. I hope that you remember that today is a day that God has given you. Now you can take this day and you can waste it, or you can grow in its light and become a source to others. But whatever you do this day is important, because when tomorrow comes, today is going to be gone forever. And I hope that each of you do not regret the price you paid for it. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Don't need no copy of Vogue magazine. Don't need to dress like no beauty queen. High heels or sneakers, I wear what I can. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He never tells me I'm not good enough. Just gives me unconditional love. Loves me tender, loves me mad, loves me sad, he loves me sad. He thinks I'm pretty, he thinks I'm smart, likes my nerve and he loves my heart. He's always saying he's my biggest fan. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. When there's dark clouds in my eyes, he just sits back and lets them roll by. Me like a lion, going like a lamb. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He thinks I'm pretty, he thinks I'm smart, likes my nerve and he loves my heart. He's always saying he's my biggest fan. My baby loves me just the way that I am. He thinks I'm pretty, he thinks I'm smart, likes my nerve and he loves my heart. I see no reason to change my plans. My baby loves me just the way that I am. My baby loves me just the way that I am.
Let the good times roll. boat out on Yellow Bus. Sure looks big in his little eyes. His mama waits as her tears kick up the dust. It's never easy to say goodbye. Julie Ray in her pearl white wedding gown has found her wings and it's time to fly. It's all her dad can do to keep from breaking down. It's never easy to say goodbye. They've been called on down the line. Though their time was short, I think about them every day. It ain't easy to say goodbye. It's alright if you wanna cry. Though I know we'll meet again someday. It's never easy to say goodbye.
When you walked into my life,
the majority of these girls I have in my home ec class, in which we happen to be sewing right now. And if there's anything that's Jamaican me crazy, it's them trying to sew. So I knew that they would want to have fond memories of me and their sewing experiences. So I had some thimbles engraved with FHA and the years that they've been in it. I believe it's 90 through 94. And so at this time I'd like to present them these thimbles, and I know that they're going to remember me.
Just happened to be there. One of them was in there when the sophomores were sewing. They had a little thing over there. They all missed out. I'm sure it was.
Before I read the poem, this has been an excellent group of girls to work with. I remember from the time they came into my class as freshmen, refusing to open their mouth because they just got braces. Is there any of you that didn't have to have braces? Well, at the time it seemed like everyone had braces. And it was a real conversation piece in our class, and I'd have to say, okay girls, we are going to have class. And they love it because they think they can get me off track, and I do that pretty easy. And they get me talking about stories, and they get out of class that way. But what they don't know is I probably wouldn't do that if I didn't enjoy talking to them. And that's what's nice about it. At this time I'd like to, I don't want to get emotional, so we'll just go right to the graduation card here. The poem that I have for you is called Graduation. It's a celebration, a time for looking back on lessons learned, adventures shared, bright moments filled with special meaning. It's a farewell, a time for saying goodbye to old friends, to good times you've known, a time for packing away memories and treasures for tomorrow. But it's a beginning, a time for looking forward, a time to set new goals, to dream new dreams, and to try your wings and see what lies beyond. May you cherish your yesterdays, dream your tomorrows, but live your today. Congratulations, girls. Presents that I'd like to use at this time. I think from the list of activities that I listed for you, I think you're aware that we definitely have a good set of officers. I think they were good about including the members. I think the members will agree that they made the meetings fun. They had activities planned every month. It should be a real challenge for those of you new officers that are coming in. At this time I have some mags that I'd like to present to them. If you wonder why they're different colors, the black ones are for the black sheep and the white ones are for the If they were an officer before, they already have a white knight. So the two options they have are black and white. So they get a black one. So there's no reason why they're the black sheep. But at this time, Julie Davis served as our vice president this year, and I'd like to present her. Clark served as our secretary. And when she filled out her new officer form, one of the reasons why she wanted to be another officer was that she would do the duty better than she did secretary. I'd always be going, Shauna, where's that list of those people that are supposed to be on that committee? Sometimes it'd be on the back of her checkbook day, on the back of her calendar. We needed some more training with you. Lenny McKelvey served as our treasurer this year. Reporter Andrea Reichert. I meant to get that in there. I was fishing, and I thought of it, but it was too late. But most of the time, she did a really good job, and she got them in there. Just one or two more. Historian was Gina Ventris. Parliamentarian Angie Starkey. Our chaplain Brandy Hankey. Our student council rep Jana Wright. Yes, Mother made it. See what you can do. She goes, Baby Julie. Our committee chairperson, Tony Scott. Now I have to do it. Last but not least, we have Mandy Gossett. Woo! If you went to the talent show, you will understand that. My children constantly remind me if they hear Mandy Gossett's name.
Is her, because y'all, when we were practicing for the talent show, this woman, mother of two, did a cartwheel, and she goes, watch this, and she does this, and she gets the cartwheel. So all year she was full of energy, and that's what I don't remember about her is her excitement to get involved in everything, and that's what she made us want to do stuff, because I mean she was always just jumping up and down and going, come on guys! I mean, install our new 1995 officers. So we're going to see if the future homemakers of America are in a regular session to install our officers and explain to them the duties and responsibilities that they are about to assume. We have before us the light of home economics, a light which radiates throughout the world. Now I'm trying to light it. This is the light of our ideas, our purposes, which enables us to make our homes, communities, nation, a world a happier place in which we live. The following officers have been elected to serve the future homemakers of America for the year. President Gina Ventris, Vice President Maggie Malcolm, Secretary Carly D. Hart, Treasurer Kaylin Hutchinson, Historian Shauna Clark, Parliamentarian Destiny Anderson, Reporter Alyssa Voss, Student Council Representative Brandy Hankey, Committee Chairperson Susie Keller, and Chaplain Julie Fitzgerald. You officers elect must realize that a great honor is being bestowed upon you. Future homemakers of America have faith and confidence in your ability to lead the organization onward. The pledge of your office signifies your willingness to do this. You will repeat after me. I solemnly promise that I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform all the duties belonging to the office for which I have been elected. You have heard the pledge which the officers have made. It is important that each member assist these officers in the performance of their duties. Will the President-elect please come forward? The office of President is one of great responsibilities. You will want to be pleasant, firm, impartial, considerate, and a real friend to every member of the organization. As incoming President of the future homemakers of America, you are to be familiar with your duties as stated in the Constitution. Vice President-elect, please step forward. Your duty is to assist the President in all her services. In her absence, you will succeed her and will resume her duties and responsibilities. Secretary-elect, please come forward. As Secretary of the FHA, you are to keep accurate record of all meetings and meetings of the executive group, to keep records and other material of importance to the organization. You are the chairman of the membership committee.
Treasurer-elect, please step forward. You are to keep a record of receipts and disbursements, to report financial status to the organization, and to serve as chairman of the Finance Committee.
the reporter-elect please come forward? You are to report to our school paper and our local newspaper all activities of the Future Homemakers of America organization and serve as the chairman of the publicity committee. Will the historian-elect please step forward? It is your duty as historian to keep an accurate history of the organization, to keep the scrapbook and have it complete by the end of the school year. You are to take pictures of activities and projects of FHA and assist the reporter in public relations. Parliamentarian-elect, please come forward. Your duties as parliamentarian will be to rule on points in question concerning parliamentary procedure, to assist in conducting meetings in a business-like way, and to be the chairman of the Constitutional Committee. Your duties are providing the devotionals and prayer costumes. Student Representative-elect, your duties are to report to all the student council meetings and report back to the FFA chapter with the details of the meetings. Committee chairperson, please step forward. Your duties are to be a member of all the committees and to attend all the committee meetings. Would you please stand for our closing ceremony? Future Homemakers of America, we are challenged to accept the responsibility of making today's decisions that affect our lives and the world in which we live. Let us repeat our creed. We are the future homemakers of America. We are members of FHA and Hero chapters. We face the future with warm courage and high hope. For we have a clear consciousness of seeking old and precious values. For we are the builders of homes, homes for America's future. Homes where living will be the expression of everything that is good and fair. Homes where truth and love and security and faith will be realities, not dreams. We are the future homemakers of America. We are members of FHA and Hero chapters. We face the future with warm courage and high hope. You're dismissed.